What's up, guys? It's Benny. The single oldest promise that Donald Trump made to the American people is that Hillary Clinton would be put in jail under his presidency.
It's just awfully good that someone
remember this moment.
with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Yeah, because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
Remember, the audience wasn't supposed to clap. You won't be able to top it. There's a lot of really great Trump moments, and they keep rolling in every single day, like Trump at Davos this morning was just too much gold to even mine. But what I'm saying here is that Donald Trump has promised to put Hillary in jail, and he may well have just done it. Hillary Clinton may well be truly heading to prison. Well and truly be heading to prison. Because the House has voted to hold in contempt the Clintons. And it's happening right now. Like seconds ago, House Oversight holds Clintons in contempt of Congress. Epstein probe. We have long predicted that the Epstein probe would prove to be something that Democrats swing on Trump with and end up hitting themselves right in the nuts. And that's precisely what they've done. They've hit Bill Clinton. I mean, what a cruelty. This old, diseased man, Bill Clinton, is not doing well. But his last years of his life are going to be, they're old. I mean, they're old, and they're not aging gracefully. Bill Clinton's had all these problems. The last years of their lives are going to be spent relitigating the stuff that could have just died if Democrats didn't have a frothing at the mouth rabid obsession with getting Donald Trump over something that Donald Trump has no guilt in, but Bill Clinton has lots of it. And I'll explain that really quickly before we go through all this, because contempt, rarely used congressional enforcement tool, carries a maximum penalty of 1 year in prison and a fine of $100,000. Vote is the first step. The full House must approve the measure before it can be referred to the Justice Department. The vote was 34-8 to hold Bill Clinton in contempt. 9 Democrats voted in favor. On the vote to hold Hillary Clinton in contempt, 28-15. 3 Democrats voted in favor of holding Hillary in contempt. The panel rejected a Democrat amendment to hold Attorney General Pam Bondi in contempt. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I've been saying. Democrats have thrown Bill Clinton into the meat grinder. They've thrown him into the burn pit. They're done. The Clintons are done. They're finished. They are literally voting. Democrats are voting to hold them in contempt. Now the DOJ has to put them in prison. That's what they did with Peter Navarro, Steve Bannon. Nobody's above the law, right? And I just want to talk about Trump and Epstein, because President Trump has had a relationship with Epstein. Everybody knows this. I'm not happy with the way that they've done the whole Epstein files. I think this is the single biggest own goal of the Trump administration. And I'm frustrated with all that. But this idea that like Donald Trump has something like deep and sinister to hide in the Epstein files is insane. You're telling me that they had the guaranteed way to make sure that Donald Trump not only drops out of the presidential race, but is then criminally prosecuted because you have some type of evidence of Trump doing something illegal with Epstein and little girls. And the Democrats didn't release it. You want me to believe that? They released the Access Hollywood tape. They raided his home. They put him in prison for tweets. And you're telling me that they had all the Epstein stuff. They could have just done it with one photo from Epstein. It was all just sitting there in files they controlled and nothing happened. That Donald Trump, typically criminals don't get up on stage in front of millions of people and talk about their criminal acts. Like this is President Trump when he was running for president in 2015.
Bill Clinton.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein. A lot of problems.
You got to be so low IQ. You got to be so smooth brain, so microwave brain to think that Donald Trump would just straight up be yelling about the name Epstein. In fact, it was Donald Trump who popularized Epstein. Trump was the one who made Epstein a thing by talking about Bill Clinton.
Had the story
and
for
so
3.
did journalists at the time. This is a very famous journalist at the time working for ABC News, caught off camera saying she has everyone. She has all of the dirty deeds of Epstein. She got them all dead to rights. Bill Clinton was on that list. Guess who wasn't on that list? Donald Trump.
That we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways. We were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate and Will that also quashed the story. And then Alan Dershowitz was also implicated in it because of the planes. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton. We had everything.
Clinton. She doesn't name Trump there. Isn't that interesting about the Jeffrey Epstein victim? Who's the victim? Oh, it's Virginia Roberts, who wound up dead in the middle of the Australian outback, one of the most rural places on earth. She was hit by a bus. And then she died. After telling people that she wasn't going to commit suicide, she died in the hospital. Okay.
Hey.
Cool. Well, she didn't die in the hospital. She said she was going to die in the hospital. Then she died by suicide a couple weeks later at her remote farmhouse. See how that works? Yeah. James Comer saw how it worked. That's why he forced this. James Comer said that Bill Clinton would be the focus of the Epstein trial. You know who agreed with him? This is insane. I can't believe I'm saying it, but The View actually agreed with him. The View hosts stun audience by telling Clintons they should testify. So does Jon Stewart. Comply. You should absolutely effing comply, Jon Stewart says. The Clintons. Geez, dude. Like, all of your friends are turning on you. Now you're held in contempt of Congress. A bunch of Democrats just voted against you. Look at these are the vote totals. Overwhelming majority. Bill and Hillary Clinton have been held in contempt. There you go. These are the vote totals. I voted yes. House passes bipartisan resolution holding Bill and Hillary Clinton in contempt. Clintons are not untouchable. They might think so. People demand accountability now. Democrats put Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro in prison for defying a subpoena. You know, you could just yeah, and this is the ranking member. No one is above the law, right? Got it. You know, it's amazing. You could just show up and just plead the fifth the whole time. Remember this? Bannon went and did hard time. Bannon went to prison. Look at that. Ghislaine Maxwell tells DOJ, Trump never did anything wrong. They're going to have Ghislaine Maxwell testify too. Next. It's amazing. So what happens next? This goes down to the full House for a vote. Do the Clintons even have any more power in the Democrat Party? I mean, if you have this many Democrats voting against the Clintons already, they're going to lose. Because all you need is a simple majority. Then this goes to the DOJ. You think Pam Bondi is going to protect Bill Clinton? I don't know, man. I don't think so. You think the Trump DOJ is going to protect Bill Clinton? I don't think so. So, yeah, this is a big time collapse for the Clintons. This is not good for them. They're not going to have a great time. Penalties for contempt of Congress can range from rebukes to jail time. Yeah. If the resolution garners a simple majority needed for passage, the DOJ will have to decide whether to pursue criminal charges. The House is not expected to take up the resolution this week. Okay, well, better get on with it. American people are waiting for this incredible Trump promise to come true, because you'd be in jail.
Someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
Promise is made. Promise is